So my name is Gina Carbone, and I'm going to talk to you today, present a case study about how Coca-Cola has leveraged Harmonya data to build refreshing, consumer-centric shelf strategies. So as I said, my name is Gina Carbone. I'm a senior customer success manager with Harmonya. I've been here about a year and a half. I am technically co-presenting this with one of our very valued partners and clients, Rylee Rogers, who is a category sales advisor for Coca-Cola. Unfortunately, Rylee could not be here today, but we were able to video her, and we did a video interview with her, so you'll see clips of Rylee throughout this presentation. I want to start by saying that this project, this work, would not be possible without the collaboration and partnership that we have with Coca-Cola. In this example, as with every other project we do with them, they're bringing the category expertise and they're trusting us to bring the insights and the enriched product data from Harmonya. And it's really created this trusted partnership between us where they've been using our data, our insights for a couple of years now. And this was a project that was born out of them wanting to experiment and get creative with using our Harmonya insights. So I'm going to introduce you to Rylee. Actually, I'm going to let her introduce herself.
My name is Rylee Rogers. I do shopper and category insights at the Coca-Cola Company, and I've been working with Harmonya for the last year and a half. The relationship between Coca-Cola and Harmonya has truly felt like a partnership. We treat them as an extension of our team, and the unique problems to our categories and our business in beverage is going to be different than the problems to someone in cleaning or beauty or food. Everything that we do with Harmonya just unlocks everything in beverage, specifically for Coca-Cola, in a way that just we would either have to do completely by hand, completely custom internally, because it's just not available in those syndicated data sources that we use.
All right, so let's start by talking about where Harmonya data comes from. And I'm going to take you through it in 3 steps. Everybody loves 3 steps, really easy to follow. We first acquire the data by going out to tier 1 and tier 2 websites where consumers buy products. Your Amazons, your large grocery retailers, Walmart, Target, etc. And we scrape all information at a UPC level about products that are being sold on those websites. We're scraping information from the product title, from the product description, we're scraping it from the ingredient list, and we're also scraping it from the reviews that consumers are leaving. Our AI large language model then takes all of that information that we've scraped, and they sort through it, and it identifies specific words, or we call them tags, you can think of them as characteristics, that are relevant to individual products. And again, this is all done at the UPC level. And as our third step, what we're able to do, because this is all generated at the UPC level, is we are able to tie sales data that our clients provide to individual UPCs. And now we're able to very easily see how a specific tag or characteristic is trending in the marketplace based on sales data that our clients provide. What this enables us to do is, on one end, we can really do some foundational data work. We can match retailer IDs to UPCs. We can work through automated attribution management. But then on the data enrichment side, we can enrich that product data and really add robust characteristics or have robust characteristics about each product. And then we can connect it to sales data through our insights platform. So for today's case study, we're going to focus on the data enhancement piece. All right, so let's go another layer down and talk a little bit more about what enriched product data and insights can do. And we're going to start with the consumer, because when a consumer is shopping in a store, they are not thinking about the way the shelf is merchandised. They are thinking about What am I feeding my kid for breakfast for the next week? Oh my God, I'm having a dinner party and somebody vegan is coming and I need to make sure that they have something that they can eat. They're thinking about, gee, I'm also kind of following a paleo diet, or somebody has an allergy. I need to make sure I'm clear on what ingredients are there. So there's a lot going on in their head other than how the shelf is merchandised. And if you think about, when we think about products and the way they're segmented, right, in CPG, all of us can quickly go to those traditional categorizations. My product is in this category, it's in this subcategory, it's this brand, it's this sub-brand, it's nice, it's neat, it's predetermined rows and columns. But what Harmonya is able to do, because our starting focus is the product and what's important to the product, our tags now add color to these products. So now not only do we know what category and subcategory they belong in, but we can also say what claims and consumer benefits are associated with this product. What might some of the occasions be that this product is consumed? What kind of textures are associated with it? It really provides a more complete picture of the overall products. We're going to hear from Rylee again and have her perspective.
So within category management, we often talk about slicing the data in different ways. Maybe you want to slice your data by brand or by package type or by flavor. And typically that information may come from a syndicated data provider, or if you work for a large company, you may have custom slices that you want to see on the data. And typically you may have 20 different ways that you're going to view the data that you're willing to maintain, that people are manually going to comb through and make sure new items, we're attributing them with those 20 different ways we view the business at most. So if you want anything beyond the 20 ways, it's a very manual process that may not even happen because 20 is already a lot to keep up with. So when we looked at the sports drink category, we have our view of 20 to 30 things that we think are important as a company, the way we view the category. But if it's beyond those slices, it would be a very manual process. We may get out our web browser, start searching item by item, but ultimately it comes down to manpower. Someone has to do that item by item for any new slice you want to have on the business. With Harmonya, what that enables is now thousands of slices. We can slice the data any way that we want to look at it beyond the traditional views that everyone has, including our competitors. And we want to bring new thought leadership to our customers, but also internally in our own walls. And Harmonya automates the way that we do that. Now we can look down to the most granular level ingredients, which probably no one maintains an ingredient list of every item in every category that they play with, to slice their data, to lay over mods, to lay over decision trees. It's too much work to do in a manual fashion. We found there was a lot of variation in the type of sweetener used or in the ingredient that brings the electrolyte. And this is really important to the way people shop, but it's a way that category management is a little bit behind in.
All right, so Rylee's talking about slicing the data. It's probably an action that everybody in this room is used to. And it's one thing to know the 20 things you want to start with, but then how do you identify what else might be important and other ways to slice the data? And the way we were able to do that is leveraging our Harmonya platform. So when you log into our platform, this is what you see. The diamonds are our tags. The size of the diamond is relative to the size of in this case, it's dollars. And we're going to have the different tag types. So we will know that athletes are the primary consumers, product is consumed during sports. So we're gonna have all sorts of, as well as different ingredient tags associated with it. We can drill down to focus on those sweetener ingredients. And the size of the diamond is going to tell us what the largest ones are in the category, what the smaller ones are from a dollar size. We can even go deeper to say, well, not only how big are these tags from a dollar size perspective, but how are they trending in the market? And what's the number of products associated with sugar or sucralose? How is it trending? And then we can even understand from the source of that tag, how much of it is coming from a product review versus a product description. I'm going to bring back Rylee.
With the review data that Harmonya unlocks for us, we can now see what customer needs are, their thoughts, their feelings behind the product, and we can actually quantify that and start to compare which products meet this need the best, or what's the difference in product A and product B based on what people are saying, not in what we are trying to tell them as a manufacturer. Now we can understand what are they trying to tell us without just reading endless pages of reviews. We can quantify that and bring that back into the analysis that we do of different trends, performance by different brand. We can kind of unlock some of the color of what's really happening with the business.
All right, so when we're thinking about how to apply this now to our shelf, right? And as Rylee said, we all kind of start at the same place with the same information. They're predetermined characteristics. That's where we're starting. But with Harmonya, we can add on this layer of detail to now we can understand, well, how does each product communicate a different consumer benefit or ingredient or potentially claims? And how do the products look on shelf based on those different types of tags? And when we look at it in that context, the shelf could look very different when you're merchandising it, because now maybe it's not as organized as you thought it was before when you were merely blocking based on brand. And it gives you the opportunity to rethink the way you should be merchandising your category, maybe potentially reset the category in a different way to make it more appealing to the shopper. Okay, so taking it to space planning, one more level down. So we're focusing on the sports drink category here. You heard Rylee mention it a little bit. This is a functional category, and based on Coca-Cola's expertise, we know that sweetener type and electrolytes are important. This was also really hard for them to get to with their traditional data.
We started taking this Harmonya data, this trend information, and applying it to the different planograms in the categories that we play in. We said, we're used to looking at planograms, viewing by brand, viewing by package type, maybe by flavor. And we thought, what if we used some of this information that we've never had before and overlay that with a planogram? So that was where the idea around this sports drink planogram that looks into the different types of sweetener came about. We know what is marketed on the packaging, and typically we're able to block by 0 sugar versus full sugar, but we weren't actually blocking by which ingredient is bringing the sweetness to that item. So Harmonya unlocked that for us, and what we were able to do is overlay that sweet ingredient, the ingredient that brings the sweet flavor to that sports drink, and understand where does that sit today? And we can take that information on the planogram, looking at the physical space that it takes up, and then we can marry that up to how are consumers making their decisions in what they shop, and we can make sure that the consumer decisions and the space that they're shopping in match when it comes to the sweetener ingredient in their sports drink. We can also do this with electrolyte, really with anything else that you can think of.
All right, so let's take a look at what that actually looked like when we took that sweetener type and applied it to a planogram. So everybody's seen the different JDA planogram softwares or whatever software you use. So here we're looking at sports drinks, but now the different colors are the Harmonya tags that are delivering different sweetener types. The pink is sucralose. So now, if you know that sucralose is gaining momentum in this category and potentially becoming more important as far as sales go or how consumers are shopping it, and we look at the shelf in this way, we see it's kind of scattered all over the place. And you might want to start to rethink the way you're merchandising it, because now you know that this trend is coming, and you might want to make it easier for consumers to find products with that sucralose sweetener. The other example Rylee referenced was electrolytes. So knowing that it's either going to be a sodium-based electrolyte or a coconut water-based electrolyte. Here, now we have the ability to look at the planograms based on the different electrolyte types to see where they're sitting. Okay, we're gonna hear one more message from Rylee.
This project highlights to our customers, to our buyers, that we have a new capability that is way outside the realm of traditional category management and can elevate that category management relationship that we have with the customer. And what I mean by that is typically with Catman, with space planning, the best practices revolve around what we are capable of and what most CPG companies have the ability to do. Whether or not that's really the best, most detailed way to go about it, you're kind of limited into what's realistic with the personnel, with the manpower, with the tools that we have today. Harmonya increases that capability. And so now we can do things that we really want to do. We can answer questions the buyer really has that are outside of what maybe traditional category management tools enable. And now we can answer any question. And so it takes all of the color of the shopper experience, whether that's online or in store, and marries that up with traditional category best practices in a way that gives so much more color and depth and granularity to the way that we're viewing the category and our strategy within the space.
All right, so now think about what your version of sweetener type is. Every category has it. Every category has their own version of sweetener type, whether it's potentially grain-free for pet food, if it's protein content in snack foods, it could be the type of non-dairy or plant-based used for dairy products. Every category has it. So what's your version? And what do you want to unlock a little bit more to really understand if it's impacting, if you can shelve or merchandise your shelf better based on that attribute? And what it really gives you is the opportunity to speed up getting to an insight. So now you can refine your planograms, like we saw that Coke was considering doing. We could test different scenarios. You can, now that you have the characteristics, it's really easy to reorganize your shelf and test a few different scenarios to see what's going to work best to drive sales. It's also going to foster collaboration with your retailers. They're going to see that you want to partner with them to really drive category insights, drive their shelf, their business, and also help facilitate assortment decisions. So that's it for me. We would love to help you rethink your category, so please stop by our booth. I will say, if there's any questions, we definitely have time for them.